Go back to Zeidon Alkinani, a lecturer of Middle Eastern politics at Georgetown University, still here in the studio with me. Zeidon, so in Egypt now, the second phase of Donald Trump's trip, and perhaps the more important aspect of this trip. We've seen all the celebrations and the language.
So that would ensure that Israeli military aggression wouldn't continue against Gaza. Most of the points, as we previously discussed, are focusing on what to do in Gaza rather than how to protect Gaza from an external threat. There's a lot of conversations about demilitarizing, or that is the main conversation, which is demilitarizing Hamas, as if Hamas was the only violent actor in this conflict. There was an Israeli military aggression committing a genocide that was argued by many analysts around the world that it was the most prominent and drastic genocide in the current modern history. And yet we are still only negotiating and planning a future where we can only demilitarize Hamas. And when we talk about prosperity, we talk about prosperity connected to business enterprises and plans that are connected and related to Trump's associates or economic and relative associates.
I do want to touch back on a moment from earlier today, and I wonder if you have also viewed certain elements of what Trump has been saying as him showing flexibility on that 20-point plan. For example, he was asked by a journalist, I believe, about the role of Tony Blair as the head of his board of peace, which is something he's been talking about. And he actually backtracked on that point a little bit, saying that, it depends on, how popular he is. What does that tell you? That he's listening to people about potentially how unpopular Tony Blair would be as a choice in that position?
Yeah, well, that is a good example, because the frequency of the events and the developments that have been taking place for the past 2 years are happening at such a fast pace that there will definitely be a lot of changes coming out of those internal and secretive talks before they go out to the public. The nomination of Tony Blair, which in itself is a very controversial nomination, given his history as a Prime Minister of the UK, who was part of the US and UK-led invasion and occupation of Iraq, that in itself doesn't give him really a great CV in front, either for the British people or for the international community. They may have also tested the water with the nomination of Tony Blair and many other recommendations in those 20 points plan, meaning that they have realized that there is a strong opposition publicly, from a media-oriented perspective, from a political perspective, from an international community perspective. And that also means that the 20 points roadmap or proposal might be there to ensure that they have the highest benchmark to negotiate with and could go back and pushing back something different. Similarly to Israel's insistence in ensuring that the PA or the Palestinian Authority wouldn't be involved in a future committee.
Yeah, that's another key sticking point, isn't it?
Of course.
Okay, Zeidon, good to speak to you. We will be speaking to you in the next few hours. Zeidon Alkinani, lecturer of Middle Eastern politics from Georgetown University.